but rapists are very much a part of our society. The reason rapists don't have to be afraid of navigating society is because we have created a culture where rape is okay. You may be thinking, I don't condone rape, but we are all part of a rape culture that is integrated into every part of what we do. It is in our magazine covers, memes on social media, phrases that we use, actors and musicians that we adore. Some of you may have heard of Dylan Farrow, the woman who was raped by Woody Allen from age 7 onward. Yet Allen continues to be a very famous and loved actor. Many also forget that Bill Cosby is a man who drugged and raped multiple girls. And Gandhi took to sleeping with many young naked girls, including his great niece, in order to test his celibacy. In a country where these men aren't tried and prosecuted is a one where rape culture is present. And when we don't hold these men accountable, we become part of the problem. We have become so socialized into accepting violence upon women that it is commonplace, so much so that we begin putting the spotlight on victims rather than rapists. Rape stories that manage to break into widespread awareness almost always involve straight white victims. We never hear about the 1 in 3 Native American women being raped in their lifetime, a number twice the national average. Or the 80% of women and girls emigrated from Mexico who are raped crossing the U.S. border. Maria, questions come up such as, what were you wearing? Why were you out so late? And are you sure it was rape? Researchers have even developed new anti-rape underwear, nail polish that detects date rape drugs, and female condoms with spikes, suggesting that there are certain situations where women are likely to be raped. People don't talk about being raped by your friend or your partner. It is handled as if rape is a disease, and we need to take a vaccination to avoid it. The end of rape culture is a change in the way we think, behavior of men. Ending rape culture means creating a space where women can report rape without being blamed, and those rapists actually getting reprimanded for their actions. College administrations need to step up. In no world should someone like Jeremy be able to interact with the victim on a daily basis. We can no longer invite rape into our homes, open it in magazines, or listen to it on the radio. But we need to separate it from ourselves and start stigmatizing the rapist instead of the victims.
I stand before you this afternoon with no small amount of trepidation, considering the psychic weight of what we're talking about. But I'd like to start with a series of questions. What do we do with the terror that has taken hold of us? Where do we turn when our bodies feel a war is being waged against us? Who do we turn to, and who's responsible for bearing witness to our horror? The horror I speak of is, to me, the greatest form of violence, both physical and psychic, that can plague a person on a deeply individual level. Rape and its normalization in social realms such as the university and the workplace. Make no mistake, not all bodies are equally vulnerable to the use of sexual violence as a form of social, economic, and biopolitical control and intimidation. Women, persons of color, members of the LGBTQ community, and bodies with intersecting identities. The sexual violence experienced, particularly by cisgendered and transgendered women of color, can and should be considered an international crisis. Today, it can be argued that the use of sexual violence in these communities is a tactic with genocidal potential. When rape is used against us as an act with homicidal intent, where do we go? Who is responsible? Who will witness this war? For make no mistake, it is a fucking war. Rape is an act of power and of domination, most often by perpetrators of economic, gendered, and racialized forms of privilege and capital, used to destroy bodies of aforementioned communities. So I urge you all, we must raise our voices and howl